All right, so we're started.
Cool. Awesome.
So John Wilbers, he's a graduate from 2009. He took just about all the film classes you could take at Afton, and I think I'm going to let him tell us a little bit about his dream when he was at Afton, what kind of kid he was at Afton, and then, oh, look, come here, Ms. Wong. All right, Ms.
No way. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Great, thanks. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. We had a parade yesterday.
Yeah.
We had you there in spirit.
Yes.
All right, John. So, why don't you tell us about yourself when you know, what kind of person you were at Afton, and your experiences at Afton, and kind of the origin of the dream you had, I guess, to go out to California, and then how you realized that dream. You made it, you willed it, so it wasn't a dream anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I was in school. I guess I was a really quiet and shy kid, but that's mainly just because of how many jobs that I had outside of school that just made me insanely tired all 4 years I was there. Pretty much, I guess I was in school. I was really interested in, I've always been really interested in film, TV, music, everything online, all kinds of online publications. So in camera and lighting has always been my main forte. And I guess it's different than a lot of other people when they find out what they want to do. But I guess I was like 7 years old by the time that I knew exactly what I wanted to do, what my goals were. So I kind of just set a plan and went from there. So when I was in high school, I made sure to take all of the TV production, lit through film, Mr. Jennings class, just all of those classes, just so I could really get a backbone and a not only good theory but good practice. I feel like Afton has a really good combination of not only theory classes but actually like them putting a camera in your hands and giving you deadlines for stuff, because no matter what job you get outside of school, you're going to have deadlines, you're going to have responsibilities that are crazy, and you're going to think your boss is crazy sometimes. But in actuality, I really think in Afton, this is the best program to set you up for anything that you want to do outside of school. So I took all the classes in Afton, all the film classes I could while I was in Afton. Then I went to Merrimack. I did the A+ tutoring. I don't know, we made a ton of videos for TV production for A+ tutoring that were ridiculous, but I did that, so I got 2 free years at Merrimack. I didn't finish Merrimack, which is still a big regret. I'll do it one day. I was working really hard, a ton of different jobs all over the place. I was like managing an opera theater company, and then working at the zoo and working at Little Caesars, and like 20 other jobs at the same time. So I was just insanely tired my entire high school career, but I was able to save enough money to move to one of the most expensive cities in the world and have money for 6 months and then go completely broke again. But I didn't finish Merrimack. I took some film classes at Merrimack. They're really cool. So that's a good option if you want to go there. They have some really cool programs. Then I decided to move out to LA. I answered an ad on Craigslist to somebody looking for a roommate because I didn't know anybody that lived out here. And I decided to actually move out here to go to college. I went to LA Film School. It was like a year-long program, but really cool, really hands-on. I got to meet a ton of people. So I answered this random ad on Craigslist for somebody looking for a roommate, and I drove all the way out cross country, moved in with, as I walked in my apartment, I met my roommate, Mike. I looked to my right and the entire Jackass crew is sitting on my couch. So like immediately, and then Jamie Kennedy was in my kitchen, like making a bagel. So like, it was just immediately I was thrown to the wolves, and they wanted to see what I've done in the past. And luckily with like school stuff and stuff I did outside of school, we did a whole bunch of YouTube skits, and we're like getting paid by YouTube actually during high school. And like, we did stuff for like Charter Communications, like just like midnight Friday night Charter TV stuff while we were in high school. We made like 5-minute skits. And, yeah, I don't know. Immediately they wanted to see like who I was, what I did. And like within 2 days I was shooting like crazy stuff, like crazy Jackass stuff, and then music videos. And bands and all kinds of really cool people, and went to school, started school like 3 months later, did school for about a year, graduated, got my degree, and took everybody that I met from school and everybody that I met from my roommate. And for the last 4 years, I've been completely freelance, doing camera and lighting work and working on some really cool stuff. So I guess that's like my story in a nutshell.
All right, yeah, that's awesome. Let's see.
Thanks.
So I guess the thing that would hook our interest most is to hear about what you're currently working on and what you've worked on in the past year, because you continue, I know, to kind of climb the ranks of or the success of you and your business is just only going up and up. So what are some of the latest things you've been doing this year?
I guess, yeah, the latest big thing that you guys might have seen that I did was the MasterCard commercial that aired during the Grammys. That was pretty cool. I was a camera operator on that, so my friend that's a DP brought me in, and so I shot that for him. I work right now part-time with PlayStation, so I do all of their video stuff, their live stuff, their commercial stuff. I work with Verizon, Google, YouTube, Shark Tank. I don't know, I've like bands and stuff. I filmed Avicii, Skrillex. Thursday I'm shooting Beyonce, which is going to be hilarious. Hello Kitty clothing. I'm shooting a new show from the producers of The Hills and Laguna Beach with all the same people, and that's pretty cool. They're really cool people. Kel Mitchell, I don't know if you guys know him from like All That, Keenan and Kel. And then last week, I guess Wednesday, I filmed the new Honda Civic reveal. So they revealed the new Honda Civic, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, so I guess I do a lot more stuff than that, but those are just like, I guess, the main projects at 1 a.m. last night that I wrote down because I was just crazy busy.
Yeah, that MasterCard commercial, that's the party bus one, where they just grab the person off the street and give them like a night of fun or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like we grabbed 4 people literally from a street corner, put them in a party bus, gave them like a ridiculous amount of money each. They got made over. They got to travel, and then I didn't film this. This is the second day, but they got to go to like a concert, like an after Grammys party with all the Grammy people on the red carpet at the Grammys, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Like I think my first year out here, I got to film. I was filming a reality TV show. Like as soon as I graduated, I guess when I was still in school, I filmed at the Oscars. So I got to literally wander around the Oscars and just meet and talk to people, and those things are really cool. But I guess those are like the MasterCard commercials for sure. The biggest thing that I've done in the last 5 months, probably.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess let's see if anybody has any questions so far. Anybody want to ask John anything? He knows a lot of famous people. You might want to ask. If you want to ask about movies, you can ask
I have
about
a question.
All right.
So when
Yeah.
you've been at the car, what is your job title on your car?
Director of photography, so just a DP. So I'm pretty much, what that means is I'm in charge of the entire camera, grip, and electric crew. So I'll decide from the director's vision. I'll kind of sit down with the director, what he's going for, and then I'll decide what camera I'm going to use, what lenses I'm going to use. Well, first of all, what the budget is. Then I'll figure out what the camera I'm going to use is, the lenses. Then I'll decide my crew, and then my crew hires their crew, and then we pretty much go from there. So so pretty much I guess I bring to the table all the camera and lighting. I'm just kind of in charge of that, which is like sometimes it can be 2 people, and sometimes I've had crews of 40 people. So it depends.
Sure. And then
Yeah.
how do you go about getting jobs? Like, how does that work in LA? Is it word of mouth? Is it posts? Is it somebody emails somebody who's heard about you?
Yeah, I've been going 4 years strong with recommendations from people I've met. So people that I met either through my really old roommate when I first moved out here, or people that I worked with that just keep recommending me to other people. That's usually how it goes out here. So you kind of just hit this, it's really slow, okay, and then all of a sudden this person, oh yeah, you want to work this week? Okay, you want to work? Hey, my friend's got this thing going on, you want to film that? And then all of a sudden that friend starts hiring. It's like the spider web effect. So soon you're just getting calls from all kinds of people, and you're constantly going from like a crazy huge job back to like a super easy videographer job, the crazy huge job. So like it's if I told you my schedule last week, you'd be like, what? Like I filmed such like high profile things, but also mixed in with like some things that like 2 people will probably ever see. So social media is huge. Instagram and Facebook, it's really important now to start branding yourself and not like just kind of putting like, say if you want to fix cars, if you want to, be a hairdresser, it doesn't matter what you want to do, just showing people that you're active in that industry, even if you really have nothing going on. So like on my days off, I'll take like the last 3 exciting shoots that I've been on and kind of make like, post a picture and then kind of break down like how I lit the scene. Like I'll do that sometimes. Just kind of staying relevant. Even when I was in high school, I remember we used to make these, 2 friends of mine, we used to make these ridiculous, like totally inappropriate skits that, and we got a phone call one day, literally freshman year, from this guy who produced TV on Charter. And he was like, do you guys want to make 5-minute skits for me? Every Friday night we'll play them on midnight, we'll play it at midnight. I think it was like channel 12, and they did. Every Friday we make sure we come up with a 5-minute skit and he'd air it. And yeah, they were silly and dumb, but it taught us like a crazy amount of stuff that we still use today. So really just putting your stuff out there as early as you can, no matter what if you want to fix cars, do everything you can possibly do. If a college is having like an open house, go there and just network with one of the professors, or like network with, if like a car shop, go to the car shop and just talk with people, get your face out there. Like that's really what you got to do. It sounds like you're being really desperate and you're like a loser and stuff, but like it'll just lead to really cool things. And so putting yourself out there and definitely being relevant, making a brand on social media, no matter what you do.
So
it's really
like you have to make sure that you're talking about yourself and you're talking about your work. You can't wait for somebody to do that for you.
Absolutely. Nobody, especially in this city where there's literally 5,000 people on my street alone, that would kill me for the job that, I have coming up Thursday, or I have coming up in a week. Like there's so much competition. There are so many people on this planet that would do the exact same thing you want to do. And as long as you're nice to every single person you meet, you network pretty well. Like again, in high school, I was I think I said like 3 words my entire, like besides with friends, like 3 words in high school. I was really quiet. But I always made sure to make an impression with the people that were important in school, friends, teachers, and always doing like, even like extracurricular stuff, which I feel like is just really important just for like team building, like exercises. All this stuff sounds lame now, but I promise, like, as long as you do that kind of stuff, if you start now, no matter what you do in life, it's going to be huge. Like you'll be able to be your own boss and make your own schedule and live a pretty awesome life, honestly.
So we have some TV production students currently in here watching you. What advice do you have for them?
TV production, it may seem I think you guys may have it a lot easier now, but definitely, it was a lot of, I think that class really helped me out as far as scheduling and as far as deadlines. And I will say that is still to this day the hardest class I've ever taken, but it's also one of the most rewarding, because it puts a camera in your hands. It teaches you deadlines. It teaches you to kind of go out there. And even though you might think you're being ridiculous, but just putting yourself on TV, even if it's just on the school for the entire school to see, like that's going to knock you out of your shell super fast. It's also just going to, like, again, teach you deadlines, teach you responsibility. And I think Miss Malone is seriously, Mr. Walker, Miss Malone, Mr. Jennings are seriously the best 3 teachers I've ever had, just because they might scare the heck out of you at first, as far as, as far as like what you need to do, and these are your responsibilities, but you're going to learn so many life lessons from them. It's unbelievable. So definitely take away as much as you can from those classes and just do your work. And even if you can't think of any ideas, just make something ridiculous that sticks to the topic and you'll be fine.
Yep, that's very good advice. Mr. Walker and I'm sure Mr. Jennings is smiling downstairs, not wondering why he's smiling, but that was very sweet of you.
Yeah, no problem. Miss all you guys.
Okay, cool. So I don't know, anybody Any questions so far? You can ask him anything.
What was the name of your skits that you did? Like, what?
I don't know. Like I have to think. I know if you look up, I'm totally throwing a blank. I'm not even. It's Gazebo Park Productions. It still might be around, and I apologize in advance. But I just ridiculous skits like that. But Gazebo Park Productions. That was definitely the high school stuff, and I think the other stuff has since been removed just because I don't talk to one of the. There's like 3 guys. One of them is upstairs in the other bedroom sleeping right now. He came out here, and the other guy's still back in Afton. Whoever knows what he's doing, but yeah.
So I think one of the big takeaways as far as advice, and I don't know if you said it directly, is pretty much just make stuff, right? Put some stuff out there, film whatever, no matter how bad it is. I'm sure your stuff isn't as bad as you say it is, but just putting stuff out there, it not only gives you the experience, I'm sure you've learned a lot from that, but then just having stuff out there that people can see that you've actually done something rather than
no, for sure. A lot of my friends are like Vine stars, which is kind of funny, but it's like, even though as ridiculous as those things are, like, if I would have had that when I was in high school, if like my friends and I would have like had that opportunity, like we seriously would have made a killing off of Vine. Back then we had to worry about like structure and making something that was long enough, but like it shows you like just being creative all the time. Like those people are buying houses and cars, and they're moving on to like much bigger projects. They're moving on to movies. I know my friend Alpha Cat, his name's Amon in real life. I don't know if you guys ever watch his stuff, but he's on Vine and everything. He's on his 2nd movie right now with like his first movie was with Harvey Keitel, who's in like all of Tarantino's movies, and now he's filming a movie with Rufio from the guy who played Rufio from Hook. Like it's really cool. Like there's so many things out there more than ever that you can be creative with. So I guess back in our day, it was like old like VHS tapes, and like seriously, YouTube was brand new, and it would take like 18 days to upload one video. So it was like, it's definitely got a lot better now. So, and now I work for YouTube. I like do a lot of their stuff. So the Honda Civic thing that I filmed last week was for YouTube.
What advice would you give students who would like to get into the industry but are really, really shy? Like, how do you break?
Yeah.
You said that. How did you break out of that shell? What steps did you take to kind of get out there?
I don't know. You just kind of have to. I feel like you can be like a really shy and like quiet person in school and stuff, but as long as like, just be you, honestly. And to get out of your shell, I would honestly say just have goals in mind. Like you don't need to know like what you need to do every day or every week, but just set a goal to like, okay, in 2 years or 4 years, I at least want to be go to a college, and then after those 2 to 4 years, I want to do this. Just kind of have goals in mind, kind of set a path. I guess that's my biggest advice. I don't know, like just be yourself though. Just be nice to everybody. Like I can't tell you how many, I said this in the last class, how many sets that people would much rather work with people that are nice and fun to work with than people that are amazing at their jobs but just suck as humans. So the nicest way to say it. I'm trying to keep everything very PG.
But people like to help out other people when they're nice too. So people who are have status maybe that you want, they'll be glad to help you out, and they want to mentor people who are nice. And certainly that was true when you were here. You were the kind of student that we all were rooting for. We would do anything for because you worked hard and you were nice.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And I'm sorry that I was like half asleep in all your classes. I had so many jobs outside of school, saving for California.
You were awake in TV. You were watching TV, but then once the class was almost over, you perked up. So I think
exactly. Yep.
Thank you. Your work and what you produced did a lot of the talking for you.
Oh, thanks, guys. But
real quick, go back to the audience. Question. Who does he work for? You can ask him. No one's asked him any like personal Beyonce stories yet. I don't question.
right.
Can I ask it?
Brett, yeah, sure.
What jackass people were there when you like went in the house?
Sorry, what was the question?
Speak over to the over here.
Over here?
Brett, yeah.
What jackass people were at the house? Like what, like actors?
Oh, Knoxville, Steve-O. I don't know, I'm blanking on the other guy's name. I would say Preston. I don't know, eventually it was I would say definitely half or a little bit more the first time, but then we've just filmed stuff ever since. So my friend Dimitri out here, he's a DP for all of their stuff. So I'm hoping, there's rumors, like I'm not really supposed to say anything, but there's rumors and a new movie might start filming soon if everything goes well with like Steve-O stuff that he just got involved with. But I may be able to work on that, which is awesome. And my fiance works at Paramount, so that's where their production office is. So it's all intertwined. So I'm crossing my fingers because that would be awesome. But a lot of crazy stuff was filmed my first couple of months out here, and yeah, got thrown into that world super fast.
Congratulations on your engagement.
Thanks. Thank you so much. I did it the most I did Disneyland, so it was the most like typical place ever, but it was awesome.
Well done, John.
Thanks.
So we forgot to talk about this in the other class. You want to tell them about when Hollywood came to Afton, and you were a student then, right?
Yeah. No, that was insane. So I was in Miss Malone's TV production class, and one day she came in and she was like, "Hey guys, they're going to be filming. Well, they think that location scouts were here, and they think they're going to be filming a George Clooney movie here, directed by Jason Reitman." And that time, I guess he had just directed Thank You for Smoking, and so that was like, sorry.
And Juno, they probably would know Juno.
Yeah, no, Juno. Okay, that's what it was. And those were two of like one of my like favorite movies that had, just come out recently in that year, and it was, or a few years before then. But I was just like, what? No way. And then so we got the word that they chose our school, and then Miss Malone brought us as a class, brought us in as the TV production class, and we were able to go on set when they were shooting here at the high school for the day. And we got to hang out. It was like a total behind the scenes thing, and got to meet and talk with George Clooney and Jason Reitman. And we all got comms, which are just pretty much headphones that you get, and we got to listen to all the dialogue. And it was like a full 12-hour day, but we got to be here, and it was like seriously experience of a lifetime. And yeah, I can't tell you how many cool things. I know I have a story, but I'm just blanking on it right now. But I know I've met some crew back from up in the air. I think I've actually seen Jason Reitman again, and he remembered me. Just crazy stuff. George Clooney, for sure, I saw again. And he didn't remember me, like, specific, obviously, but he remembered Cougar News. So he remembered Cougar News, and he has a Cougar News shirt that supposedly someone photographed. If you Google him bicycling in Italy, he's wearing a Cougar News shirt, which is hilarious. Yeah, so I don't know, so a lot of cool things, but that was definitely an insane experience. I mean, we went from TV production, making, a TV show every week, to literally Hollywood, actual production was in our school, a movie that was going to be in theaters nationwide, and we got to watch all day long and eat lunch with the crew and just see how they did stuff and like how it really works. And I feel like that was an insanely cool opportunity. Just networking alone. I was networking then, I guess, just meeting crew members. I think I've worked with a sound person that did sound on that shoot. It's just funny. Like, you instantly have something to talk about with somebody. But that was the coolest thing. I can't tell you how lucky and thankful I am that we got to do that. Super cool.
Yeah, I think the school's production schedule is free if you're wanting to point anybody else.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell them they can come shoot.
Yeah, right? Exactly, yeah. Right? You give permission, yeah. Awesome.
We're fun size here. They started to scout it. It was John Latensner, the same one that worked with us on Up in the Air.
Yeah.
Right? And he contacted me and he said, "Hey, we need a school. We need one that's your time frame. Can I come scout it?" So he came, we scouted it, and then we lost the Missouri film industry's tax credit.
Yep.
And then we shot in Alabama instead. They were going to film fun size here as well.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
We still got the lotto commercial. commercial, but we still got
We
that one.
did. We did get we had a Missouri Lottery commercial that filmed it after too.
You need
No
to-
way. That's cool.
Ms. Malone is the star of that commercial.
I was
What?
the crazy.
That's
Nice.
awesome. That's so cool.
Missouri Lottery commercial.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Please.
And
That's awesome.
I know you put it on Facebook, and I don't know if you had anything to do with it or are going to have anything to do with it, but they're maybe going to shoot Walking Dead at Crestwood Mall.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I heard through the grapevine that they're thinking about shooting a couple of episodes at Crestwood Mall, which would be awesome because it's like the set's built for that. But supposedly, like I saw a couple of pictures of the inside. It's like it's definitely set for it. So before they knock it down, I think the crew's going to come in. And they're going to film a couple episodes there. So
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, crossing my fingers that happens. That'd be super cool.
Hey, yeah, that happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
please let me know.
Yeah, I know, right? So definitely Google it and see if there's like casting stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, you got everybody buzzing now. So what else? Anybody else want to ask anything? He's working for a PlayStation now. All right, go ahead, ask your question about Beyonce. What else did last class? She wants to know about Beyonce. Tell us about what's going to happen.
Oh yeah. So all right. So Thursday, I got a call to film this guy who just wrote a book called Becoming Beyonce, supposedly like a 14 times New York Times bestseller, 14 times in a row, and it's going to be like him and then her like sitting down at his house discussing the book before he goes on his like late night run talk show circuit. He's going to do like 62 shows or something like that. So we're going to kick it off with this video that's just for the web, for social media, and then he's going to start the tour. So it's pretty cool. Like I'm pretty excited. She's definitely somebody that I've always like wanted to work with. So it's going to be really cool and really exciting. So yeah, I hear she's super nice. So
Yeah, it's my dream to work with Beyonce.
yeah, right.
Right. So do you have any film recommendations for, I guess, like my local film students, because they're now hopefully learning about kind of the art of film and how film can be more than just dialogue and plot. Do you have any kind of challenging movies that you think they would enjoy coming out or come out recently?
Yeah, definitely. Like I think I said last hour, just check out Netflix and check out like the top 200 films or 100 films on IMDb. Just print it out, as dorky as that sounds, and just search Netflix titles and see if any of them pop up. And I would say just watching like at least the first 20 on that list, either if it's through like an actual film website or IMDb. I know they're a little bit different, but like just definitely getting and you'll do that a lot in Mr. Walker's class. I think he said you guys are going to watch Singing in the Rain soon, which is great. Whole bunch of great actors, lots of good slapstick comedy, but also the making of things and kind of like it shows like the reality of Hollywood a little bit. And so that's a really cool movie. And Citizen Kane, obviously, you guys will watch, is the biggest, I think still the biggest influence on me. Can't tell you how many times I've seen that movie. And I as soon as Mr. Walker said we're going to watch Citizen Kane, I think I went home that night and I Googled it. I was like, what's this old movie about? And I saw it. I was like, this is going to be so lame. Like, I'm not going to, like, I'm going to skip that class. And then I saw the movie. I was like, it was super long, but I was like, that was really good. And I've probably seen it 100 times since. And it's now still to this day, my favorite movie. I copy everything from the movie all the time. And it got me to, I seriously, I probably watch more old movies now, me and my fiance, more than anything else. So we watch a ton of classics because everything is just copied. Like everything, it's just like music. Everything has been copied and replicated and just even enhanced. But you just got to create a strong backbone, especially in film, to really appreciate and then make your own mark, if that makes sense.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, Quentin Tarantino's made a career out of that.
Yeah, definitely. I've met him. Sorry, I heard Tarantino. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying Tarantino's kind of made a career out of repackaging and then coming up with his own spin.
Oh yeah, No, I swear, every single shot in a Tarantino movie, besides like this trunk shot that he does, are copies from tons of other movies. I don't seriously in his movies, he barely has any original shots. It's just people don't. It's really cool. He's stealing from the best, and that's what you're supposed to do. In film school, they'll teach you all the rules to make a movie, and then it's your job to go out and break them or steal them and remake them, make them yours. It's totally okay in this industry. So it's really cool. It's just an homage to all these old great movies that you guys are literally going to watch in this class.
Hey, John.
Hey.
Will see you later.
Bye.
And
It's so good seeing you.
and thanks
Yeah.
for talking
Oh, you're the best. Thanks. Bye. See ya. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Walters.
All right, now that we got her out of here. All right, so what's coming up, John? You got anything big and exciting other than Month Day?
Yeah.
You know, and tell us about like where you traveled. That might be kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I just went to Sturgis. There's like a motorcycle rally in South Dakota that I went for a week with friends, and we filmed this new campground. There was tons of bands, like Lee Bryce and like all kinds of like bands, and we shot all that stuff. And that was an entire week, and like lived in like a mobile home for a little bit, doing that. New York, San Jose, San Francisco area. Lots of cool stuff. The cool thing about living where I do, I live in Burbank, so it's like 10 minutes north of Hollywood, is that all my jobs are within a 30-mile radius. If you guys have ever heard the word TMZ or like the website TMZ, it means 30-mile zone. So it's anything from the center of Los Angeles 30 miles out. That's where everything happens mainly. So I live right on the top of that grid. So pretty much I don't have to travel far for work all the time, but when I do get to fly, I flew to Cabo a while back. So yeah, lots of traveling. This year is the first year, I've been out here 4 years, that I actually bought a car in January. So I was able to get by without one, but then I reached a point to where I was like booked constantly that I needed transportation. So finally got one of those, which has made my life way better. But yeah, so traveling all over the place, but mainly here in 30-mile zone.
Yeah, John, you probably do pretty well as far as, you know, making money with your jobs, but it just costs so much to live out in LA.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like how much a regular apartment costs and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. For a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, it can be anywhere from $1,100 to $1,400. That's in my area. If you want to go anywhere else, a little bit ritzier areas, it can be $2,000. I have friends that are up in the Hollywood Hills and stuff that are paying. I think my friend Renee is paying. She told me like $6,000 a month, and that's her and her husband per month. So it's definitely like you make a good chunk of change, but then also the expenses, and especially my industry where I have to keep, like, especially for what I do, I have to keep buying stuff. Like it's pretty crazy. It's a really expensive hobby. So, but it's paying off really well, and I'm having a blast. Like there are some pretty scary times being your own boss, just because you'll have like a week off and you'll be freaking out that you won't have any calls coming in. And then all of a sudden you'll get a job, and then 6 jobs that land all on the same day that you can only choose one. And then, you know, it's just, so you're always like picking the best ones. But, yeah, I would say it's definitely a struggle. But, like I said, I moved out, I worked like 5 jobs. I worked at the zoo. I worked at Little Caesars. I worked at St. Louis Opera Theater, St. Louis. I had tons and tons of jobs. I think at one point I had 7 jobs when I was in high school, just different, the Muni. I worked at the Muni, just parking cars. And being nice to everybody is huge, because the person that I worked with at the Muni parking cars on hot black asphalt for 8 hours a day during the summer actually moved to Washington, D.C., got a job with this company named Pixel Corp. And out of the blue last year, they called me, and all of a sudden I went from making what I would make in an entire summer at the Muni, I would make in one day from one job from the company he hired me through. So it was it's just insane. Like being nice to everybody is so important. Who would have ever thought a person I park cars with at the Muni would have led me to some of my biggest jobs through Verizon, Google, 24, and then which eventually led me to this Industrial Light and Magic DP through one of those jobs. And now I work for PlayStation because of him part-time. So if they'll give me a call probably every month and I'll go and do something for him. So it's crazy. Being nice to everybody is really important, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing.
Awesome. Hey, so we're near the end here. You wanna tell them about maybe your social networking stuff so they can maybe follow you? Can they follow you, friend you, or whatever, and Instagram?
Yeah, definitely. Well, he knows. Maybe you can tell them my last name, but it's just John Wilbers on Facebook, and then Instagram it's jwilbers.dop. So I'm sure if you just search my name, it'll show up. But just John Wilbers, and yeah, social media is super important. I just had a friend book a Chipotle commercial from his Instagram account, just because somebody really, just a random person, liked his photos. And I've seen that happen a lot with photographers too, where it's just my friend Kyle has a sister named Melissa, and she used to shoot a lot of cool Instagram photos, and eventually like now she's shooting for Vogue and Vanity Fair just because of her Instagram account, like taking photos from her cell phone. So it just, I don't know, you have to brand yourself, like starting now. We branded ourselves in the MySpace days, freshman in high school in Afton. And some guy gave us a call from Charter Communications and was like, do you guys want to make 5-minute skits for us? Out of nowhere. We didn't apply for anything. This is like back when YouTube like had 10 videos on it. Like, you know, it took 5 minutes for the video to buffer before you could even watch it. So it's like, yeah, it's crazy. So starting now is super important. And I'm getting hit up like crazy on Instagram right now. That's cool from you guys. But yeah, so I would say, yeah, just be nice. Seriously, like take away anything, be nice, find out what you want to do and set goals, and work really, really hard. It's not easy for sure. And like you can say that for any industry, it's not easy when you're starting out. But definitely have goals in mind. It's all about who you meet, who you know. I didn't know anybody moving out to LA. Literally, I found my roommate off Craigslist and I walk inside and like 13 celebrities are in my apartment. I like had to tell them to move so I could go to bed because I just drove across the country. So like it's crazy. Like it's honestly crazy. And it doesn't matter where you move or what you want to do. Just be nice to everybody. You never know. But definitely have goals in mind. Wasn't exactly my goal, I guess, to be doing what I am doing now. I was hoping to be like on bigger projects and stuff, but doing those bigger projects really makes me appreciate the little stuff. Like I can't tell you, like still doing those skits with friends or just like stupid like Vine videos before Vine was even around, like how important that stuff is compared to like the bigger stuff. You just got to have fun. You got to love what you do. And that's at the end of the day, like, yeah, some projects won't be the greatest and some people can be real, like, I guess jerks, but you know, like you have to keep going. And eventually you just, you know, like what I'm doing right now, it's totally, it's not what my other friends are doing. They're freelancing, but just being my own boss, owning my own, I guess, production company with all of my own gear and all of my own crew. So it's taken a while to get to that point. At one point I was sleeping underneath a bunk bed, like literally. So there's like 2 dudes above me and I'm underneath the bunk bed on an air mattress that was popped, paying like whatever I could for rent. But I did that for like 7 months. And that was when I, like after, I think like 2 years after I moved out here, I graduated from school, nothing going on. And yeah, now it's a complete 180. So it's awesome. You just got to work really hard. You got to be willing to live underneath the bunk bed for a little bit to do what you want to do.
Yeah, push through those obstructions. Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ms. Allen, do you want to
Periscope your wedding?
Sorry?
Are you going to Periscope your wedding? So we can see
Maybe.
it?
Yeah, right. If there's Wi-Fi in Fiji, for sure. We're getting married in Fiji, so it's gonna be 2 years.
In 2 years, you said?
Yeah, 2 years. So yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be cool.
All right.
Costco. They have awesome wedding packages.
The bell's about to ring, but thanks so much. once again for
No problem.
Skyping in, for waking up so early. I know you're really busy, but we really appreciate this.
No problem.
Students will take away a lot from this.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Thanks a lot, guys, and thank you.
Thanks a lot,
Bye, guys.
See
Yeah.
ya.
Hey guys, punch your chairs back in that corner. Punch your chairs.